Okay. Good evening and last day. We have discussed about, I'm continuing from the last day lesson. We have discussed about CSS integrations. We just discussed about three kind of integration in CSS. So the method number one is integrating CSS in integrating CSS as inline CSS. Then we have discussed about integrating CSS as internal CSS. Then we have discussed about integrating it as external CSS, which is a separate file. So inline CSS is basically added as an attribute. Inline CSS is added as attribute. You can see in the tag itself, it is added as an attribute. So here you can see the tag. And in the tag itself, it is added as an attribute, style attribute. And within quotation, you have to include your CSS, which this CSS is applicable only to the particular tag. So once defined, this is applicable only to the particular tag, but powerful than the external and inline CSS, because like if there are already inline external CSS styles applied to the particular tag, so that will be overridden by this inline CSS. For an example, let's say you have given border top width 5 pixel, border top width 5 pixels using external CSS file to this paragraph. And then you have given border top width 7 pixels, border top width 7 pixels using inline CSS. And then finally, you are giving border top with 10 pixels by using so second one is given internal. The third one is given by inline CSS. Then what you can see is the inline CSS style. So let me show this using an example, then it will be more clear to you. Let's use brackets. And I'm going to apply similar style using all three ways, single style using all three ways. So let's try to understand the power of which is more powerful and which is less powerful. To do that, so first of all, this is my CSS. Let me add a new file, which is HTML and HTML, and then HTML closing tag, then the head tag and head closing tag and the title tag. And the title closing tag. So let's say this is a CSS. Just check the abilities. And the first one that I would like to integrate external CSS first. So let's say link relation. Link rel is style sheet and href equal, let's say my.css is the href, and the type is text /css. So this link, and so let me save this file first. So file save as, I'm going to save this file as hello css.html in documents. Okay, let me open the file. Let's go to documents, and here this is the file, and you can see it opens. It's nothing is there, right? Because still we have not included anything at all. And let's add the body section and small paragraph there. And I'm going to add p hello world. Okay, save it, and now hello world is displayed, but without any styles. So let me add external style sheet to this. Sorry, external. Oh, sorry, that I have to keep style. Sorry. So external CSS to this, external CSS. To do that, actually, I can start a new file, and this is going to apply a style to the paragraph. Let's say color that I'm going to apply is red to the paragraph. Color red is, I'm going to apply that color. And let's save the file as my.css in the same location where you have saved the CSS file. You can see the file is there. So let's save it there, and you can see that this one looks red, right? So the reason is the external CSS which is applied. The reason is this external CSS file, it says the color red and it is applied. So now let me try to override that using internal CSS. To do that, I need style tag, and here I'm overriding to the same tag, same paragraph tag, and I'm telling I need color blue. Actually, this is what I'm telling. This is external CSS and this is internal CSS. Internal CSS says you need color blue. Okay, let's see what will happen. And this will look blue. Means internal CSS is powerful than the external CSS. So it looks blue. Okay, and then I'm going to the particular paragraph and include style. And then I'm telling color equal, let's say, green. Okay, so the style color green. So that is inline CSS. Now we can see it looks green, right? The reason is inline is more powerful than even internal. So similar style, I have added same style, like similar element. This element will be added. Okay, let's say there's another element. Then what will happen? If there's another element, hello 2. So what will be the color? Can you predict? Hello 2, what will be the color? So I don't have any inline, inline. Then what will be applied? So since I don't have inline, so then internal will be applied. Since I don't have inline, internal will be applied. So the color looks blue. Right, this is hello 2. So please understand the color ladder, how it happens. Not the color ladder, please understand the CSS ladder. Inline, then internal, then external. But you know that internal, Situm, how the red comes, it's blue because it is this, right? It is internal. If internal is absent, then your answer is correct. If this is also absent, then it will go for the external, which will look your paragraph in red. So if internal is absent, then it will go for the external, right? So that is the nature. Okay, I guess now you understood this. Yeah. Right, today's lesson, so it's not about CSS. I would like to discuss another new topic, which is not CSS, but this time today we'll discuss about, since we have already discussed about this, today let's discuss about client side and server side scripting languages. So please write the heading. So why I'm asking you to write the heading, because I have already provided this note to you, but why I'm asking you to write the heading, because then you remember that at least we have discussed this section today. So client side and server side scripting language, there's small update, right? There's small update you have to write down there. So that's why I asked you to write the heading, and I'm giving small note there. So this is for the students who are coming for the classes, because I know a lot of students are not coming to the classes. They are only taking the note and so appear in the first week, second week, and only taking the note. After that disappears and again appear back after some time. So don't know why. So that happens, right? Because once the note is released, they are not in the class. They think that the note will come to the exam, but it's not. You have to practice. You have to practice. Without practicing, how can you do this examination? So why I prefer the practicing rather than just remembering. So by remembering also you can do the examination, but a subject like ICT, so it's a totally practical subject. A subject like ICT, if you try to remember that and by heart that and write for the examination, no use writing exams like that. So that is not your true results. Whatever you remember is not your result. Your result in ICT is what you can do, not what you remember. Therefore, please train yourself first. Whatever the examinations coming after that, even it is A levels, O levels, or even it is like a university examination, or if it is a job interview, you can pass any exam after that. So if you practice this. Okay, client side and server side scripting languages. So unlike programming languages, please write. Unlike programming languages, scripting languages do similar activity. So within bracket, you can say programming using some external platform. It cannot be executed alone without the dependent platform. These languages are mostly used in web designing and development. These languages are mostly used in web design and development, but there are some other situations, other locations too. As examples, you can say, so scripting can be used in 3D animation, multimedia authoring, researching. So researching platforms, these are some other places where, so mainly web, right? Mainly web, but there are some other places like 3D animation, multimedia authoring, researching platforms, yeah. So games, game engines, or games, you can use this scripting languages. So scripting languages are like, you know, so some trees grow alone, but some trees grow in on top of some other trees. I think you have seen this. Some trees are growing on top of other trees without without the platform, because they absorb food and nutrition from the other trees. They're depending on the other trees. So without this dependent tree, these trees cannot survive alone. But most of the trees can stand alone. So similarly, the programming languages can stand alone, can be used for standalone programming too. It can write programs using its own platform and can be executed. But the thing is, this scripting language needs a supportive platform. Example, supportive platform. Example, supportive platform for web is web browser and web server. Web server supports, right? Web server supports server-side scripting languages and web browser supports client-side scripting languages. Right, I have given examples. JavaScript is a client-side scripting language, whereas PHP is a server-side scripting language. But very special point, now JavaScript can be used for server-side as well. But the thing is, like, you know, that for the examination, don't just depend on this statement. Why I'm telling like that? So when your examination syllabus is out of date, sometimes the syllabus is not updated, even the JavaScript updated to the server side, but syllabus is not updated to cater that. So therefore, so syllabus might tell JavaScript is only supportive, only working in client side. But actually speaking, now there are technologies in JavaScript which support server side too. But it is a popular client side technology. It's working in the browser, right? JavaScript is a client side scripting language which works in the browser normally. PHP is a server side scripting language which works in web server. Right, when you create a hosting account, we have already done this, right? When you create hosting account, so like Zero Fees, FC or web host, 000 web host, you can execute these codes there, or you can install a supportive server environment in your computer. So that is SAMP or WAMP. WAMP is for Windows Apache MySQL PHP. MAMP is for macOS Apache MySQL PHP. LAMP is for Linux Apache MySQL PHP. Actually, so what is this? This is Windows environment, this is Mac environment, this is Linux environment, and this is for any environment. X for any operating system, Apache MySQL PHP and Perl. So these are this is a bundle, right? This is not a single technology, this is a bundle. Apache is the HTTP server or the web server, and then MariaDB or MySQL DB is the database server. Then PHP is the scripting language working on the platform, and Perl is also a programming and scripting language. Basically scripting. Perl is also a scripting language. So these are the technologies working in the server side, and client side JavaScript. Let's see how one scripting language works in client side, and then we can move to the other scripting languages server side next day, right? Okay, I hope that you have updated the note by adding this section, right? Shall we move to the implementation? If you're done, please tell me, please indicate. If you have finished writing this part, because the other part I have already given in the note, so which is already sent to your groups. Okay, I hope time is enough, right? So let's see, let's implement JavaScript. And please note that JavaScript can also be implemented similarly. That means you can add external JavaScript, add internal JavaScript, or inline JavaScript. That is also similar to the styling language that we have implemented. Can be added inline, internal, or external. Inline, internal, or external. So those are the ways of adding JavaScripts. Okay. Right, what we have, like after finishing PHP part, so MySQL we have already done. So therefore, like we have the integration part only. I'll do the integration part with MySQL PHP. After finishing that, so we'll be moving to the networking lesson, and then we have IoT lesson. Yeah, IoT lesson also remaining. So those are the two lessons that we need to complete under this class. And so since some of you were asking like about the paper class, I'll be starting that the paper discussion in so next month. Like next month, I'll be starting that paper discussion in addition to this. But you have to first I'll post it in the group, and let's see how many students are interested in joining with the paper class, right? That I need to analyze, because like without your interest, like if I'm starting this without your interest, that is again wastage of my time, right? So because like I really value my time, but the thing is like, in Sri Lankan context, so most of the students in doing A levels, they prefer physical classes, but whereas I don't prefer that. The reason is like when you are practicing, the best environment is your home environment, and as well as when you have a computer with you, so it's very easy to practice. Therefore, I will not start any physical class in Sri Lanka because like doing physical classes in this situation, it's inconvenient to me, just traveling from city to city and doing this. And another thing is like there are foreign students learning from me, especially in USA and some other country, and therefore if I move away from that track and move to the physical class environment again, so there will be a problem because like I have to commit a lot. That commitment I cannot give because like when even I'm in another country, this can be conducted. So no doubt about that. So regardless of the country that I'm in, I can conduct online classes. That is the preference. So that is why I like this. And also I can serve many students in the world rather than just catering students in Sri Lanka. So I can just cater some students in other countries too. So that is what I'm thinking, right? So because like this situation limiting to a country like this is going to be a problem. Like, so because like, you know, the economic situation is not good. So I'm advising you all also. So try to find a global career, try to find a global job, or try to become a global entrepreneur after completing this milestone, right? Why? Because like if you are going to be a local competent, even you are going to become a competent character within Sri Lanka, because of the country failure, you will fail. Therefore, try to become a global entrepreneur or global maybe global freelancer, whatever. So try to go global, right? Don't just limit to a country. So that is what I'm strictly advising, because we did that mistake after our A levels. We were fascinated by our careers here, and we thought everything is here and we can achieve everything, but it is not true. So now we really understand that limiting to one country is a disaster, right? So don't be reliant, because if this country is growing, yes, you can do something, but this country is shrinking. This is not growing, this is going down. But always with this political situation, with the political agendas, we cannot expect any development there unless together people commit for the development. So, but our people are lazy, you know, so very, very lazy. So I know because even students are lazy, you know? When there are online classes, they are lazy to come. So they don't think like that is important. So they think like, okay, we can watch the recording later. So, but they will never watch the recording. So I know that. So that is the situation. Anyway, so let's move. Let's learn. I think now our time is enough. Right, JavaScript can be integrated. So before learning about the PHP, let's learn about the JavaScript and add that first, and then we can move to the PHP section, which is not there in this. Right, let's see how client-side JavaScript is working today. And after that, next day I'll be moving to the server-side implementations of the other technologies like PHP. So the first one is inline JavaScript. So let's say you want to execute you want to have some dynamic behavior into your web application or the website, something dynamic. So what is dynamic? Dynamic means changing nature. So earlier days website that you were, right? So that you saw earlier days, right? The websites that you observe or that you see. So let's go to archive and I can show something. So this is archive.org. And initially, let's go to some website like, so archive.org has a special engine called a Wayback Machine, which you can look into the previous status of websites. Let's go to a website like www.ni.lk. And then you can find the web archives. All right, it says nothing. So here, archives websites. I need archive websites. So this is what I need. And you can see there are a lot of archives, and out of these archives, I'd like to see how 2007 it was looks like. So that is basically how many years back? 2022, 2012, 10 years, and 15 years back. how it was look like 15 years back. So let me send you the link if you're interested in looking at this. So you can just visit this site and see. So these are web archives. Archives means the historical like caches. So let's see, it's October 27, there's a snapshot and uploading that. And this is what the National Institute of Education website looks like in 2007. I think you have won the time, right? So you can see this is what the interface is. All right. So most of these, like most of the things, most of the components are, so this is the website, and most of the components which were there are static, right? Not changing, right? You can see, so there are different things. So there is some interactivity. This is not fully static because this is 2007. 2007 was not fully static, but just information presented. Just information presenting was there. But if it is something dynamic, it should be interactive, work according to our user commands. This has some interactivity, small amount of interactivity is there, right? There's a small amount of interactivity, but the thing is, so nowadays websites are really interactive, you know, facebook.com. So just see how interactive that you can comment, like, dislike, and you can react, you can share, you can do a lot of activities, chat, all are dynamic. Dynamic means like when you log into web page, you have something to do with that. Earlier days, when you log into a web page, you have something to read, that is all. You just read and come. So you are just reading a newspaper, something like that, electronic newspaper, and come back. So that is static web, initial age. Initial era, that was the static web, but later this has changed to dynamic web. And not only that, you can log into web page and you can do something and come. So that is the dynamic web. Dynamic has things to do. Had things to do. So let's add small script to show. Like let's add how to add this. You have something called events. On click, on a mouse up, on key up, on key down. So different events are there. So these are JavaScript. Actually, in your syllabus, you don't want to learn that much. You just need the idea only, right? Events. So there are a lot of events like on click, on double click, on move, on key up, on key down. So here, on click, these are some events, right? These are some events on click. And not only that, there are a lot of events here. You can see on change, on click, on mouse over, on mouse out, on key down, on load. And not only that, there are bigger list, right? There's a bigger list. Focus, input, invalid key, upload, you can say mouse, move mouse up. So all these are events, right? All these are events. When something happens, what should, right? What should we do? When something happens, what should we do? So these are much popular, right? These are popular. On change, when you change something, what should you do? On click, when you click on something, what should you do? On mouse over, when you move the mouse over something, move the mouse like this here, mouse over. On mouse out, when you take the mouse out, when you take it away from the HTML element. On key down, when you press a keyboard key. On load, when you load the web browser. Right, these are the things. So let's see, let's implement. On click, I need to show a message to the users saying alert. This is my message. I need alert. Hello. 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 This is my alert. So let's save it. And let's load the site. When I click on the paragraph, you can see it says hello. When I click on this paragraph, it says hello. When I click on the second paragraph, it says nothing. But click on the first paragraph, saying hello, right? So this is good for buttons, right? Because like when you are clicking on the paragraph, happening something is not realistic. That is not normally there. Normally, but you can apply. But normally you are not put in. So let's put a button, right? Button on click this one, and let's cross the button here. So then that is more meaningful, right? So when you have a button like this, when you click on that, say hello. You click on it says hello. So that is what. Okay, this is in line. This is in line. Internally, also you can apply JavaScript. To do that, you have to apply the script tag. Script type is text / JavaScript, and language equal to JavaScript. Okay, that's it. And inside the script tag, similar to the style tag, inside the script tag, you can write your JavaScript. So let's write something like this, and just alerting welcome to my page. Welcome to my page. Let's save it. And when you load the page, you can see, oh, welcome to my page. So you can see it's loading. Loading has stopped. Until I click OK, it stopped the load. OK. When I click OK, it loads. So when I load initially, welcome to my page. When I click OK, it loads. Right? So this is how you can write internal JavaScript. So in JavaScript, these are the commands, right? This is internal JavaScript. So this is a JavaScript command, right? So let me add a HTML command and explain this part. This is HTML command. This is inline JavaScript. This is inline JavaScript. Okay, can you try these two, please? Let's see now. These are the two ways that we can implement the inline and then internal JavaScript. So let's see. Right now, we need how to implement the external one. So external one is also same, but this time not link rel. So this is not the one that we are going to use. Instead of that, we are using the same script tag and script src this time, and then you can mention the JavaScript file. Let's say my.js, and then type equal text / css, text css, and then language is JavaScript, right? Language is JavaScript. Actually, this has a closing tag. Unlike the link tag, this has a closing tag, right? So don't mention anything in between, just close it once you create, because this has nothing to write inside, because the inside, if you're writing, it will become internal. But if you're writing nothing inside and just linking here text .javascript, right? Sorry, that's my mistake. Text.css should not come there. Type is text / JavaScript. So it's my mistake. Okay, all right. It's now it's time to write this JavaScript also. So let's write a JavaScript here. Let's say alert. This is from external JavaScript. So let's see the priority of execution now. So let's save this, and I'm going to save this as my.js in the same location where I have saved the hello css.html. This is my.js, my.js. Let's save it, and you can see. So only this alert part is there. Nothing else is there. Alert. This is from external JavaScript. You can see there's an error. The reason is that because like I have not added here was called before the pay before it was initial, right? So this is the error. Alert was used before initial and instead of end, like, so there is a small bug there. So let's see. So I have to use a function, actually that is the most appropriate way. So let's go to this and see what will happen when I save this and refresh. when I reload the page, the first one to appear is that external JavaScript code. The first one to appear is external, then internal. Okay, the first external JavaScript appears, this one appears, then the internal JavaScript, this one appears, then you can execute the inline one. Okay, inline one. So that is the order: external, internal, inline, similar to the previous one. First, it called the external JavaScript because it is in the head section before this. So this order will be followed. The line number 6 is external. It's calling the external. Line number 7 is, you can see this one, internal. It will be called after that, and then we'll go to the final one, which is inline. So please implement the external one also. And if you need to see both files, yes, this is similar, right? This is alert, simple alert is there. The file name is my.js, and this is the HTML file. Please try that and let me know once you're done. Just give a try. Let me know once you're done. Right, let's see how, so this is just displaying a message now. So this alert messages basically display in this section. This is alert. So there are few kinds of messages in JavaScript. So let me show all these to you. And before that, I would like to define a function. Function is actually, you know, we discussed this in Python also. Def keyword was used in function. So just to group the codes. So let's here you don't have def keyword. Instead of that, you have function keyword. So let's define a function. Function, let's say foo. This foo function. In the foo function, what I'm going to mention, the related code in together. So let's mention so few things. There are 3 type of input boxes. So 3 type of messages which is used in JavaScript. The first message type is called alert. So that you already know, that is to display something. Then there's something called prompt. So let's say x is a variable equal prompt, and then you can display a message. So let's say enter your name, and let's put something like name there. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this, the particular set. So once you save this as a function, there is a facility. You can add that function name to the event, right? So please remember, when you save this as a function, you can add that function name to the event. And let me show what will happen when you call like this. So now this is from the external, and then the hello world is there. When I click this, the foo function will run, right? You can see enter your name, and inside that the name is there, right? But you can just ignore writing this because nothing needed to be written there. And also you can just erase this part and just use the prompt also. So now let's see. When I click this, you can say enter your name. I can enter my name and later I can print it. Okay, let's say alert. I'm alerting. Welcome, and then the X. Then let's say to the page. And let me erase this part. I'm not going to link the external one, just erase in there. And now I have only the internal one. When I click this, it's asking name, then I can type my name. When I type my name, it says welcome Dasun to the page. Okay, this is a very simple program using 2 type of messages. The first message is prompting. Prompting is to take input. Alerting is to give an output. And so let's say there's another one. Function, let's define another function by, and this function I'm asking another one. Okay, let's say y equal confirm. Let's say are you sure, right? Confirming are you sure. So if y, you can say This dot with the unload or exit, or you can say rather than exit, you can say if y let's say window dot close. If y window dot close, just close the window. Else you can say alert. So this is some addition, right? Alert, let's say will stay, something like this. So let's call this by function on unload, body on unload. Call in by function on unload. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to load this. When I click this, name is asked, place in my name, and welcome Dasun to the page. I'm applying to this. Okay, no, I have to give this window on not here. I have to give that. Okay, let's assign some other button. Button on click. So let's say by function, and this button is to exit, right? Okay, let's say right. Save. You have exit function. When I click this, it's asking, are you sure? I'm canceling. It says will stay. Exit. Are you sure? I'm clicking OK, and it will be closed. Right? I think you understood what has happened there. So there's exit button. When I click there, so it's asking, are you sure? Yes, I want to exit. It's going back. So you have done the same using small button exit. This is what the dynamic pages do. So it responds to the user commands. So let's try this. This has many things. You can see the selection is there. If else part is there, right? If else part is there. Functions are there. So these are familiar things because we have already done these things in Python. We have already learned the programming concepts using Python. So these are now familiar to you. If you have not learned Python, so what I can do is I can help you giving these videos. Right? If you don't know how to execute this, so you need external JavaScript file. This is simple. External JavaScript is nothing. You have this. This is from JavaScript. Alert. Simple alert. That is the external. Nothing is there. Okay. So let's try this one. This has the internal functions based JavaScript. I have foo and by two functions. Just execute that and see. I'll give you 5 minutes. Right. Okay. So the last thing to discuss today is like now we have learned right how to get. So these are prompting is basically input. Right. Prompting is input. Then confirming is that is basically that is also kind of input, but that has an option to you to confirm something, right? That has option to you to confirm something. Then alert is just display. These are the message types. Then how can we write? How can we write into the page? Or how can we use input fields? So this can be executed similarly in external JavaScript, right? If you cut and paste this, if you cut and paste it here, so here cut and paste, that is all that you need to do. Just cut and paste, save it, come back to this and just call the JavaScript file. src is my.js. That is enough. So that will do the same, right? Same work will be done. So internal and external, no big difference. Only thing is you are placing that in here. Hello world, asking your name, Dasun, Nilanjana, and you can see it's same, right? And this exit will do the same function exit, right? So all these are applicable. That means internal or external JavaScript. That is your preference. If it is external JavaScript, you can call that file to different other files. So single JavaScript file can be called by more HTML files or more other files, web files. So that is the advantage. This can be called by different files. That is the advantage. But if you write this inside internal JavaScript, then this can be called only by this file. right? This can be called only by this file, but if it is external, it can be called by other files as well. So that is the difference. Right. Okay. Then, so how can I print into the document? Is basically you can use document dot write, and then so instead of messaging or alerting, you can print it to the document. Staying here. So let's see what will happen now when I try to exit. So what has happened? Here, exit. When I try to print exit and click cancel, you can say staying here will be printed in the same document. It will be printed back to the same. When I refresh back, so exit, and if I try to cancel, then staying here. So I have to reload the page by refreshing. So that is document.write. And one more thing that I want to emphasize, that is one more thing that I would like to emphasize, that is how we can handle a form using JavaScript. Let's quickly do that. And I'm going to create a form. Let's say form name is let's say name frm name. Method, let's say method is get. I hope you can remember the forms HTML. And action, that means the page that is going to take the action is hash, means same page. So inside that, I'm going to write my code as paragraphs. So let me erase this. Oh, sorry, has happened there. Okay. Then I'm adding a paragraph, and inside the paragraph, let me write. I'm going to write simple form. Let's say first name. First name. I'm going to input. Type is equal to the text. Type is text, and name of this is very important in programming. First name, that is my input box. Similarly, I'll add another paragraph, and I'll add another paragraph, and then adding last name. I just need to display the full name. I just need to display the full name in the third one, which is actually, this is first name, this is last name at the end, and this is full name. And this is read only, and I'm not going to be editing that. Read only equal read only. So we can see what will happen. Now we can see a nice form, and I need a button too. So let's add a button. Paragraph. So let's add a button. Input type button. So you can add a submit button, but that will submit the form. We'll do that in PHP part. So this, for the moment, I'm just adding a button. On click, let's call in full name function. Just show full name. Show full name. It's calling the show full name function. And I need to add another button. This button. Input type button. Then you don't want to have a close tag because this is input type. And there's another button. Let's add input. If it is a button only, button tag, you need a closing tag, but input, you don't need closing tag. Type, let's say reset value clear all. That is my reset button. Let's say two buttons are there. Clear all button, and so this value need to be there. Value is let's say show name. Save it, refresh, and you can see two names, show name, clear all. So let's type my name, Dasun Nilanjana. Show full name, do nothing for the moment because I have not written anything. Clear, and if I try to write something here, it's read only, cannot write anything. Clear all will clear that. So this is what happening here. And I need a function now. Function show full name is the function name which is given here, and I need to call So let's say var first name equal to the document. This is how you call the DOM, document object model. In the document, so DOM means document object model. That means all these elements in the document will be considered as objects in the page. So you can call them document. Inside that you can see this form. Inside that you can see this first name. Likewise, you can call document dot form name frm name dot fn dot value. So that is your first name. Similarly, let's copy and paste that one more time. And this is last name is document ln dot value. So let's make the full name var full equal to the first name plus space, because you need a gap between the first name, last name, and the last name. Then I'm displaying that back document dot frm name. Frm name is this one dot. So full name. This is the full name box. Dot value equal to, you can say this generated full name. So that is it. Okay, that is the last exercise that I would like to discuss with you for the moment. So let's say Dasun and Nilanjana, and when I call show name, you can see it's calling the full name and generated full name here. And I clears everything. When I say two numbers, let's say 10 and 20, it's generating it as a full name, right? 10, 20. It's not adding the numbers. If you want to add the numbers, you have to convert that to integers or number format. That can also be done, but you have to convert that to integer. That I would like you to try that as a calculator. Right? I would like you to try that as a calculator. For the moment, you can try this. For today, you can try this. Since this is the last activity, I would like you to take a screenshot and try this. Just take a screenshot, screen capture, and give a try to complete this. Just take a screen capture and give a try to complete this. And also try to build a calculator which is capable of adding two numbers, subtracting, dividing, and so multiplying. You need to do a little bit of research. You need to work on this. And after that, you can come up with a better result. Right? Just give a try. Okay, have you taken the screenshot? Right, please take a screenshot and try this, right? Just give a try. Don't cheat yourselves. Be honest to yourself. Just give a try. Try to understand. So this has this is the third step where you take inputs and also you do the calculations. Anyway, this kind of questions will not be asked in the examination. Don't worry. But the thing is, the concepts are important, because so the same concepts we will be trying in PHP. Those questions will be asked in the examination related to PHP, right? So I'll start that next day. And so while doing, let's integrate more JavaScript too. But so this is, if you are interested, you can learn this. Now I have given the initial support. So it's up to you to explore and learn this technology. If you are interested, there are videos in my channel. You can just go and watch. So that is related to the web development and JavaScript. JavaScript full tutorials are available. Just go and search my channel and learn through it. Okay then, good night. See you all next week.